Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Raptor X here with Good Clean Gaming RX. And today we're going to do an introductory video going over ship-based mining. We're going to go over renting a prospector if you don't have one, fitting the different modules and mining heads, the refining process, cracking the rocks, renting ships to get your cargo transported, basically a start-to-finish guide. So we're going to head down to the refinery and we'll go over getting a ship rented, a prospector or a mole if you've got that much money. While we head down there, why don't you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and that'll keep you tuned for the channel. I'm also recording and streaming videos on Wednesday evenings and Saturday evenings. So if you're one of those people who likes to get in and see the action live, do drop by and see the channel then. Alright, so you'll come over to these internal elevators. They're the same throughout all of the Stanton stations. And you'll head down to refinery. And once we're there, we're going to head straight out the elevator here. And we're going to take a left, or there are elevators across, so you can take a right. We're going to head across this bridge. There are two parts to the refinery. You've kind of got a shop section and a mining section. You want to come to this mining support center. And you've got your different mining heads that you can purchase. Some kiosks there to purchase your other smaller sundries. Some examples of different mining modules and the like. You can purchase your tractor beams and various pieces of armor and whatnot over there. But if you need to rent a ship, you're going to come over here to these Vantage rental terminals, and you can click into there and you can take a look at the prospector. That's going for about 72,000 or so. You can go ahead and hit rent ship, and that will give you that ship for 24 hours. You can of course get the mole if you've got that amount of money, but it's 223,000 or so to rent one of those for 24 hours. So unless you've got a crew of a couple people to be able to do that, it's just it works better to have a prospector if you're just a single person. You can purchase the items that you need here at the kiosk. Mostly we'll just focus on the mining heads. Those come in two different sizes, size 2s and size 1s. You'll need size 2s for the mole and size 1s for the prospector. Okay, so now that we're back in our hangar, we're going to go over outfitting your ship. If you've purchased a prospector or have one in game, you can outfit that by going to the prospector window there and editing the ones up the top here. Obviously this is out, so you'll need to have your ship stored to be able to do that. Otherwise, you can take a tractor beam and you can swap these components out, but you will need to get into the ship's cockpit first, and you'll do something called unlocking ports. So I'm going to go ahead and climb into the cockpit here, and once you are in the seat, you'll go ahead and hit right Alt and K, and that should unlock the ports for you. It has been a little bit buggy recently, but you should just be able to hit that right Alt and K and unlock the ship ports. Once you've done that, you'll get that little red text up there that says ship ports unlocked right there. And that'll allow you to swap out the mining heads or components, the saddlebags, all that kind of stuff. And that can all be done just with the tractor beam. So we'll go ahead and head back out here, and we'll show you how to do that. Okay, so if you've got a multi-tool with a tractor beam or one of these max lift tractor rifles, you can go ahead and remove these just by tractor beaming them and then dragging down like so. And then if you've got, your other one that you've brought up or whatever on your freight elevator, you can take that one and snap it back. You may have to rotate by holding R and then moving your mouse or the mouse wheel. But then as soon as it turns green, you can just release and that'll snap into position. Okay, so we've got our ship all outfitted. We're going to go ahead and request takeoff. And we're going to quantum travel. I'm at Arc L1, so we're going to go out to the Aran Halo. And we're going to go to this HURL 5. And we're going to drop out at about 8.5 million kilometers or so. And that will drop us out in the Aran Halo. Right about here. Now this is Ring 5. Which has got pretty decent asteroid concentrations. You'll swap over to your scanning mode and hit tab, and that'll show you all of these different contacts. Depending on your number right here, the smaller numbers indicate a singular rock. The larger numbers will indicate multiple rocks, basically anything over a 1900 or so. Or 1950 will indicate multiple rocks. Generally those come in like 3,000 to 5,000 sort of sizes. If you happen to find one that is a multiple of 2,000, there's no need to go to that one. Those are salvage panels. That's something that obviously you can't get in a prospector. You'll need a vulture for that one. Actually, we've got a panel right over here. There we go. As you can see, that one's a 14,000. So that one will have multiple panels right there. And if you had a salvager, you could go over there and salvage one of those. We're going to go ahead and head to one of these closest signatures here and see what we can find. Okay, so you're just going to approach your rock. You're going to swap to mining mode with M, and then you can scan it. Basically just hold on it, and this one's actually got quantanium in it, which is highly volatile, but also very valuable. It's a little bit of a trickier crack, so if you're very new to mining, I'd say probably start with something else. But if you've got a steady hand and the ability to toggle and adjust your power there, you can do that. I've got a bit of a stick drift going on here, I think. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get into this optimal zone up in the upper left over here. And the little optimal mark, I guess, is right there actually in the explosive danger zone. I'm going to go ahead and we'll get right at that optimal spot. And there we go. You can see we're right at that optimal tick mark there. Your indicator over here on the right, you want to get your power into this green zone, not into the red. That'll cause a massive explosion, damage to the ship, and loss of the rock. Your composition of your asteroids right here, this kind of tells you how many SCU are in the rock and what percentages of each of them, as well as mass and resistance and instability numbers, that kind of stuff. We're going to go ahead and start off with minimum power on this one. So we'll just left click to turn on our fracture, and we're going to leave it right down here. It starts at 20% with the helix head. If you've got an arbor, that'll be a little lower. So I'm going to go ahead and increase power. Your right hand bar here is your throttle amount, and the inside bar is the charge amount. You kind of want to take a look at your percentage of throttle there and leave that. That's kind of your standing rate there at about 37% on this one. Then you can bump up your throttle to get this to climb up the green bar. And then as soon as you get that all the way up, into the safe zone or close to the safe zone, you'll want to bring your mining power back down to where it's holding steady. So back down to that like 37% or so. So we're going to go ahead and reduce that power back down here and just nudge it right up into the green zone here. Just a little more. There we go. Alright, and you'll start to have that green bar there fill up. And you basically just use your left alt and mouse wheel to keep your power fluctuating enough to keep that green bar charging and not the red one. And as soon as you get that green bar filled, it will go ahead and fracture and blow everything apart. So you can now swap to fracture mode, which is left alt and a mouse click, and that'll swap you over to extraction mode, which will allow you to go ahead and vacuum those up. You'll want to scan each of these and see what each of them are, and basically want to go with the valuable rocks first. You've got a limited amount of cargo space, so you want to scan each of these and kind of see what their makeup is, and go with each of those. The high percentages first, of course, and then we'll go from there. Now once these are all scanned, you're just going to go ahead and hit that left mouse button again, and you'll start vacuuming these up. I've got enough space here. There we go, extraction mode, that I'm just going to get everything. So we'll go ahead and hit that left mouse button, and that'll turn on our extraction laser, and we can go ahead and start vacuuming up. Now Quantanium does have some instability to it. I've got about 4 SCU there, and you've got a timer. So as soon as you've got more than a little bit in there, you'll have a volatile cargo warning. So you want to get this back to the refinery as quickly as possible. Obviously you don't want to dawdle. You've got about 25 minutes or so on that timer. But you obviously don't want to let that go, because it's going to blow up. So we're going to go ahead and we'll head back to Arc L1, and we're going to go ahead and take this back to the refinery here. You can just use your star map and head back there. It's generally much easier than trying to, or much faster and more efficient than trying to just move around and find it. You just set your route like so, and then we'll jump back to the station. Alright, so we'll come in landing. Obviously we've got Quantanium in the hold, so we want to do that gently and carefully. We'll go ahead and set down here, and then we're going to take this off to the refinery. We're going to head up the stairs here. Obviously the shops are down there to the right. The actual refining center of it is over here in the refinement processing area. To the left over here, if you just wanted to sell the ore that you had a bunch of junk or whatever, you could get in here and sell this. And just select your prospector, and you could hit this sell to refinery, and that's going to make me about 50,000 alpha UEC or so. But it's worth almost double that refined. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of here and head over to the refinement center. It's got this big asteroid rock on it. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a work order here. So we'll hit begin and select our location, the prospector. And we'll hit get work order. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to select one of these processes. There's really only two that you need to know about: Ferrin exchange and Dink solventation. Dink solventation is a very low speed, low cost, and high yield. And Ferrin exchange is low speed, moderate cost, and high yield. And basically Dinks is half the time or half the cost, but double the time. And all these other ones there's just no reason to really do them. They are either expensive or you get less yields. So generally just stick to Ferrin exchange if you're in a hurry, or Dink solventation if you want to save some money and are okay with the time. You'll then toggle these little markers here. You'll turn on the ones for the valuables, so this would be Quantanium, Bexolite, Gold, Terranite, to some degree the lesser ones. And you don't need to refine any of these other ones. They're just going to take up space in your cargo ship. So you just leave those ones toggled off, and then you'll hit get quote. and that'll tell you the time and the amount of alpha UEC that you will spend to get that refined, as well as your yield, which is how many units you'll get. Those are, you have 100 units per SCU, so you can kind of judge, divide by 100 to get how many SCU you'll get. Alright, so we'll be back in about 2.5 hours or so, and we'll get this stuff taken off to the TDD to sell. Alright, so I've got my C1 here. We're going to go ahead and get the refined materials loaded in. I'm going to head down to the refinery and we'll get those swapped over. If you do not have a a cargo ship large enough, you can rent one of those down in the refinery, so we'll go over that. It's essentially the same process as it would be for renting a prospector. You have a Cutlass Black, which is really the only cargo ship that you can rent here at one of the refineries. It holds, I believe, 36 SCU of cargo space. So we can, take a full prospector load without any issues. Station's having some performance issues here, so bear with me as we get down there. We'll head down to the refinery here and go over the rental process again, and then we'll go ahead and deliver that cargo off to the C1. So we'll head in here to your mining store. There's your rental terminals again. You can click into here with the F prompt and you can rent a Cutlass Black. It costs about 52,000 or so for a 24-hour period, so generally I wait until you've got several loads to take off to the store before renting one of those. Once you've got one of them, you can come up and go to your refinement processing terminal again, and we're going to go ahead and click into here and we'll select our storage location. I've got two of these. I had another one processing. There's our 300 and change SCU. We'll go ahead and select our C1 from the drop down here and hit collect, and that'll deliver that both into there. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and head back up to the hangar and we'll take this stuff off to Crew L5, which is an area that's got the best deal inside Stanton for Quantanium sales right now. So we'll go ahead and head over there and get this stuff delivered. Obviously your ship's just going to be up here at Hangars and Habs. So I'm going to go ahead and get back there. Okay, so we're back at our hangar. We're going to go ahead and climb in. All of your cargo is going to be just delivered directly into the C1. There's no need to actually load this in from the freight elevator at this point. CIG has not implemented that. As you can see, all the cargo is right up here. So we can just go ahead and head up to the cockpit. If I didn't have Quantanium, I'd be taking this stuff down to one of the trade and development divisions at the major landing zone. So that'd be Arzen, Area 18, not by Genie, New Babbage, or Lorville. But because this is Quantanium and it's more valuable over here, we're going to take this off to Krill 5. That is right here. Okay, so we've arrived at Crew L5, and we're going to go ahead and pop over here and land in one of our hangars. We'll go ahead and request this. Generally, you don't have to worry about too many people around the Crew L5 area. It's not highly traveled. It's always like a good idea to do a little pulse scan or whatever and just kind of be aware of who you have flying around, because this is a no questions asked terminal. Which basically means that that the pirates also have a chance of being over here, so you'll just kind of want to look around, because this is a place that players can kind of come and sell some of their goods sometimes. It's not as valuable as taking it to a salvage place, but it's also a lot safer. You don't have to deal with the PvPers generally, and the people who are coming to crack down on the illicit drug trade. I'm going to go ahead and park this thing right next to the freight elevator. Pop outside to a outside view here and just kind of see. Yeah, we'll need to scoot that over. If you line up your ship, essentially directly with the freight elevator here, it makes it really easy to unload. We're going to put all of that into there, and then we will send that down to our internal storage. You'll need to have a tractor beam with you. Most of these stations you can get one. The refineries all sell them, so hopefully you've gotten one of those there. Otherwise, you can get them at any of the LEO stations. I don't know if Crew R5 has got one or not. We're going to go ahead and get that unloaded. There we go. All loaded in. Magic of editing. We've got all of our Quantanium offloaded. We're going to go ahead and come over here to our freight elevator, and we're going to send this down to our station storage. Once you've gotten through this transferring to warehouse cycle, you're going to want to visually verify that all of those are, there we go, inside of our internal storage. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll head into the station proper. I'm just going to leave the rest of the stuff on my ship for right now, because I'm going to go and sell this at one of the TDD locations. If I just had Quantanium on there, I would, go ahead and store that. But for right now, we're just going to leave it right there. Okay, so inside Crew L5, this is your kind of maintenance area, and the no questions asked terminal is right over here. You can kind of tell from the red background on there and the Cutlass black. Those are all the no questions asked terminals. You go ahead and select your internal storage, and there's our Quantanium. We're going to go ahead and sell that, so we can just hit max and sell all of those. That's kind of our price over here, and then the different sizes that we have, we'll just go ahead and you've got 1s, 2s, and 8s, or 1s, 4s, and 8s. Those will show you different sizes. We'll go ahead and hit max. There we go. And 422,000. We'll go ahead and hit sell that and confirm. And there we go. We're now 422,000 Alpha UEC richer. Alright, well, that's been a start to finish guide with ship-based mining. We've gone over renting a prospector, outfitting a prospector, the different mining heads that you can put onto there. I'll be doing another video that will go over the more advanced parts. We've done delivery and rental of a cargo ship. If you've not already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned as we do some more videos. Thank you all for watching. Take care, everyone. Ta-ta.